Today one of the most debated topics in the Bible are the Nephilim, the race of giants that inhabited the earth. Many biblical scholars in the desire to interpret the biblical passage, which is in Genesis chapter 6 verse 2, have raised a few subjective ideas that are not aligned with the sacred scriptures. And as a consequence of this, doubt has been sown in many people, and the questions that abound are, where do the Nephilim really come from? Are they perhaps the result of an unnatural union between angelic beings and human women? Before we go deeper into this subject, I invite you to like this video, so you help us to continue creating more videos like this one. You know that you and your opinion are very important to us. Tell us in the comments what do you think about this topic. And if this is the first time you see one of our videos, subscribe so you don't miss any video. Let's get started. In the Bible there are passages that are difficult to understand and explain, and as a result of this, many have used speculation to raise ideas and answers few convincing. In Genesis chapter 6 verse 4 appears a mysterious race of giants that are known as Nephilim. Many think that these giants are the product of the unnatural union of angels and human women. And to raise this response are supported by the biblical passage that is in Genesis chapter 6 verse 2. Read what the biblical text says, that seeing that the sons of God that the daughters of men were beautiful, they took for themselves women hiding among them all. This biblical passage has nothing to do with angels, because if they were angels as some believe, we would be talking about two rebellions in heaven. Now all of us who read the Bible know that in heaven there was only one rebellion, and this ended with the fall of Lucifer and the third part of the angels, and this rebellion occurred before man was created, and from then on there was never another rebellion in heaven. So the question is why some believe that the angels took human women. This is due to a misinterpretation of the verse that says that the sons of God, seeing that the daughters of men were beautiful, took for themselves women, choosing among them all. Now in this biblical text is where the confusion is born. Although in the book of Job in chapter 1 verse 6 sons of God is used to refer to the angels, but we also have to take into account that sons of God is also known to men who fear God. Let's see some biblical verses. In the Gospel of John chapter 1 verse 12 says, "But to all who received him, to those who believe in his name he gave the right to become sons of God." Romans chapter 8 verse 16. "The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit, that we are the children of God." And finally in Luke chapter 3 verse 38 in the genealogy of Jesus it says, "Son of Enos, son of Seth, son of Adam, son of God." This verse presents Adam as the son of God. So it is ruled out that the Nephilim are the product of the union between angels and human women. Now in Judas chapter 1 verse 6 it says, "And the angels that kept not their dignity, but left their own habitation, he hath kept them under darkness, in everlasting bonds, unto the judgment of the great day." Some tend to misinterpret this passage, because they think that these angels who are locked up, are the angels who took human women, but it is not so. These angels that Judas speaks are angels who rebelled together with Lucifer. We have to take into account that Lucifer in his fall dragged very powerful angels, and some of these angels are locked up in prisons. If we see in Revelation chapter 9 verse 14 narrates that there are 4 powerful angels who are bound by the Euphrates River. Now having said this, let's see whose sons were the Nephilim. In order to understand this, let's read the whole biblical passage, because if we focus on only one verse we will fall into confusion. In Genesis chapter 6 and onwards it says, "It came to pass that when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, and the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were fair, and the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were fair, and the Lord said, My spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is flesh, but his days shall be 120 years. And there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that the sons of God came unto the daughters of men, and begat them sons. These were the mighty men of valor, which from ancient times were men of renown." This biblical passage is clear. The sons of God are the descendants of Seth, and the daughters of men are the descendants of Cain. The offspring of Cain was an offspring separated from God. On the other hand, the offspring of Seth was a God-fearing offspring. Let's see what it says. Genesis chapter 4 verse 26. "And unto Seth was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then men began to call upon the name of Jehovah. Therefore this descendants of Seth that began to call on the name of Jehovah are sons of God. And it was they who took wives from the daughters of men, that is, from the descendants of Cain. For this reason in verse 3 we see that Jehovah became angry with the man, and diminished his years of life to 120 years. And the biblical account continues saying that there were giants in those days on the earth, and also after the sons of God came to the daughters of men. This verse shows us that the giants did not appear for the first time when the sons of God and the daughters of men were united. The giants already existed in those days, and also after the sons of God came to the daughters of men. The biblical account says that the wickedness increased on the earth, so Jehovah decided to send a flood, and only Noah and his family were left alive, and they were the ones who filled the earth again. Now after the flood there were also giants, and this completely destroys any speculation that the giants were children of angels with human women. Let's see in Numbers chapter 13 verse 33, when Moses sent 12 spies to see the promised land, some of them came back frightened and said to Moses, "We also saw giants there, sons of Anak, the race of the giants, and we were like locusts, and we looked like them." This verse shows us that the giants were children of humans, and not of angelic beings. Because if we look at Goliath, he was also a giant, and so there have been many giants in the Bible, but they have always been the sons of humans. God bless you, and see you in a future video.